Hello, friend. Have you ever felt like there are invisible weights holding you back, subtly draining your energy and peace? Today, we're going to uncover 8 crucial things you must quietly eliminate from your life to create more space for joy, purpose, and genuine fulfillment. This isn't about grand gestures or public declarations. It's about making small, consistent shifts that will profoundly impact your well-being. By the end of this, you'll feel empowered to reclaim your peace and cultivate a life that truly resonates with your deepest desires. So get ready to transform your world from the inside out. You're about to embark on a journey of quiet liberation, and I'm so glad you're here with me. If you're ready to embrace a lighter, more intentional existence, then make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more insights like these. The first thing we need to quietly eliminate is the habit of constantly seeking external validation. Think about it. How often do you find yourself doing things, making choices, or even expressing opinions with an underlying hope that others will approve or praise you? This isn't about being defiant or ignoring constructive feedback. It's about the deep-seated need to have your worth affirmed by people outside yourself. Imagine a life where your decisions are guided by your inner compass, where your actions stem from your authentic desires, and where your happiness isn't contingent on applause or acceptance from others. This isn't selfish, it's self-respect. When you constantly chase external validation, you inadvertently hand over pieces of your power. You allow other people's opinions to dictate your emotional state, your choices, and even your self-perception. This can lead to a constant cycle of trying to please everyone, which ultimately leaves you feeling exhausted, unfulfilled, and disconnected from your true self. To quietly eliminate this, start small. Before you act or speak, take a moment to ask yourself, am I doing this because it genuinely aligns with my values and desires? Or am I doing it to gain approval from someone else? Practice making small choices based solely on what feels right to you, without announcing them or seeking input. It could be choosing what to wear, what to eat, or how to spend your free time. As you build this muscle, you'll find that your confidence grows, your inner voice becomes clearer, and the need for external applause diminishes. You'll begin to realize that the most profound validation comes from within, from knowing that you are living authentically and true to yourself. It's a quiet revolution that starts with you, and it leads to a profound sense of inner peace and freedom. Next up is the insidious habit of living in constant comparison. In today's hyper-connected world, it's incredibly easy to fall into the trap of constantly comparing our lives, our achievements, our appearances, and our possessions to those of others. We scroll through social media feeds, see curated highlight reels, and often internalize a skewed perception of reality. This isn't to say that all social media is bad, but the constant stream of seemingly perfect lives can subtly erode our own sense of contentment and self-worth. When you compare, you're essentially abandoning your own unique path to chase someone else's shadow. You're measuring your chapter 1 against someone else's chapter 20. And that's an unfair and unwinnable game. The problem with comparison is that it breeds envy, dissatisfaction, and a persistent feeling of not enough. You start to believe that your life isn't as good, your successes aren't as significant, or your happiness isn't as complete, simply because it doesn't look like someone else's carefully constructed online persona. To quietly eliminate this, you need to consciously shift your focus inward. Start by recognizing the triggers. Is it certain social media accounts, specific conversations with friends, moments of insecurity? Once you identify the triggers, you can take action. This might mean unfollowing accounts that make you feel inadequate, muting notifications, or even taking regular digital detoxes. More importantly, cultivate gratitude for your own journey. Spend time appreciating what you have, what you've accomplished, and the unique qualities that make you who you are. Focus on your own growth, your own progress, and your own personal definition of success. Remember, your life is your masterpiece, and it doesn't need to look like anyone else's to be beautiful and fulfilling. Water your own garden, nurture your own dreams, and celebrate your own victories, no matter how small they may seem. When you stop comparing, you free up immense mental and emotional energy that can be redirected towards building the life you truly desire. The third thing to quietly remove from your life is the tendency to hold on to past resentments and grudges. We've all been hurt, disappointed, or wronged at some point. It's an inevitable part of the human experience. However, allowing those negative emotions to fester and define your present can be incredibly damaging. Holding on to a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. It drains your energy, clouds your judgment, and prevents you from fully embracing the present moment. When you constantly replay past hurts in your mind, you're essentially reliving the pain over and over again. This doesn't punish the person who wronged you. It only punishes you. It keeps you tethered to a past that you cannot change, preventing you from moving forward and experiencing new joys. Forgiveness isn't about condoning the actions of others or pretending that the hurt didn't happen. It's about liberating yourself from the emotional shackles of the past. It's a gift you give to yourself, allowing you to heal, to find peace, and to redirect your energy towards more positive pursuits. To quietly eliminate this, start by acknowledging your feelings. It's okay to feel angry, sad, or betrayed. Don't suppress these emotions, but don't let them consume you either. Then make a conscious decision to release the resentment. This might involve writing a letter you never send, having a private conversation with yourself, or simply making a mental commitment to let go. Understand that forgiveness is a process, not a one-time event. There might be days when the old feelings resurface, and that's normal. Gently redirect your thoughts, remind yourself of your intention to forgive, and focus on the present. You deserve to live a life free from the burden of past hurts, and by quietly releasing grudges, you pave the way for a lighter, more joyful future. Fourth on our list is the habit of constantly overthinking and overanalyzing every single detail. Our minds are powerful tools, capable of incredible creativity and problem solving. However, when left unchecked, they can also become a source of immense anxiety and paralysis. Overthinking often masquerades as productivity or thoroughness, but in reality, it's often a form of fear wearing a smart disguise. We get caught in endless loops of what-if scenarios, imagining every possible negative outcome and dissecting past events to an excruciating degree. This prevents us from taking action, making decisions, and ultimately living fully in the present. When you're constantly trapped in your head, you miss out on the richness of real-life experiences. You become disconnected from your intuition, and trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way diminishes. The truth is, not every decision requires an exhaustive analysis, and not every problem needs to be solved in your mind before it even happens. Sometimes the best way to get clarity is through action, even small, imperfect actions. To quietly eliminate overthinking, you need to set boundaries for your mind. Start by recognizing when you're caught in an overthinking loop. Notice the repetitive thoughts, the anxiety, and the sense of being stuck. Then consciously interrupt the pattern. One effective technique is to set a time limit for analysis. For small decisions, give yourself a few minutes. For larger ones, a few hours or a day. Once the time is up, make a decision even if it's not perfect, and commit to it. Another powerful strategy is to physically move your body. Go for a walk, do some light exercise, or simply get up and change your environment. This can help to shift your mental state and break the cycle of rumination. Remember, decision is practice, and reality provides feedback faster and more accurately than any amount of internal analysis ever could. By letting go of the need to perfectly predict or control every outcome, you free yourself to act, learn, and adapt, opening the door to greater freedom and less anxiety. The fifth thing to quietly remove is the constant need for speed and the illusion of urgency that pervades modern life. We live in a world that often glorifies being busy, multitasking, and always being on. Notifications ping constantly. Emails demand immediate replies, and there's a pervasive feeling that if you're not moving fast, you're falling behind. This culture of fake urgency can be incredibly draining, leading to chronic stress, exhaustion, and a diminished ability to focus on what truly matters. When you're always rushing, you sacrifice depth for superficiality. You skim instead of reading deeply, you respond quickly instead of thinking thoughtfully, and you interact with others without truly being present. This constant state of haste prevents you from savoring moments, appreciating beauty, and engaging deeply with your work and relationships. It turns life into a series of urgent tasks to be completed, rather than a rich experience to be lived. To quietly eliminate fake urgency, you need to reclaim your time and attention. Start by being intentional about your availability. You are not a 24/7 customer service hotline. Set boundaries around when you check emails and messages. Turn off non-essential notifications on your phone and computer. Dedicate specific blocks of time for deep work, free from interruptions. Practice saying no to requests that don't align with your priorities, even if they seem urgent to others. Learn to distinguish between what is truly important and what merely feels urgent. True emergencies are rare. Most urgent matters can wait. Relearn how to give weight to things the essential deserves your full presence, while the trivial can often be met with silence or a delayed response. By consciously slowing down, creating space, and filtering out the noise of fake urgency, you'll find that your life gains depth, your focus improves, and you experience a profound sense of calm and control. Sixth on our list is the pervasive habit of gossiping and engaging in negative talk about others. It might seem harmless, a way to bond with others, or vent frustrations. But engaging in gossip is a corrosive habit that ultimately poisons your own mind and energy. When you talk negatively about others, you're not just speaking words, you're cultivating a mindset of judgment, negativity, and suspicion. This isn't to say that you can't discuss challenging situations or seek advice, but there's a clear distinction between constructive conversation and idle chatter that focuses on tearing others down. Gossip not only damages your relationships and erodes trust, but it also reflects poorly on you. People may listen, but deep down, they'll wonder what you say about them when they're not around. More importantly, it distracts you from focusing on your own growth and improvements. Every moment spent dissecting someone else's flaws or mistakes is a moment not spent building yourself up or contributing positively to the world. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of negativity rather than elevating your thoughts and conversations. To quietly eliminate gossip, you need to become hyper-aware of your conversational patterns. When a conversation starts to veer into negative territory about someone else, gently steer it back. You can do this by asking a question about a different topic, offering a positive observation about the person being discussed, or simply excusing yourself from the conversation. Practice the three-gate test before speaking about others. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? If it doesn't pass all three gates, then it's best left unsaid. Focus on uplifting conversations, celebrating others' successes, and discussing ideas rather than people. Cultivate a mindset of generosity and understanding, recognizing that everyone is fighting their own battles. By quietly removing gossip from your life, you create a more positive internal and external environment, attracting more genuine connections and fostering a greater sense of peace within yourself. The seventh thing to quietly let go of is the clutter you ignore, both physical and mental. Our external environment often reflects our internal state, and vice versa. Piles of things, unread messages, unfinished tasks, and disorganized spaces all contribute to a sense of chaos and overwhelm. This isn't about striving for minimalist perfection, but rather about creating an environment that supports clarity, calm, and focus. When your physical space is cluttered, it can make your mind feel cluttered too. It creates mental noise and makes it harder to concentrate, relax, or think clearly. Similarly, mental clutter like a backlog of unmade decisions, lingering worries, or unaddressed issues can be just as draining. These ignored bits of disorder whisper chaos to your subconscious, teaching your mind that confusion is normal and that things are always slightly out of control. To quietly eliminate this clutter, start small and be consistent. Don't try to tackle everything at once, as that can be overwhelming and lead to inaction. Pick one small area of your life to declutter first. It could be a single drawer, your email inbox, your phone's apps, or even just one recurring negative thought pattern. For physical clutter, use a simple system. Name, organize, discard. For each item, decide if it has a purpose, a home, or if it needs to be let go. For mental clutter, try journaling to externalize your thoughts, making a brain dump list of all your worries or tasks, and then prioritizing or delegating. The act of bringing order to even a small part of your life sends a powerful message to your mind. I am in control, and I am creating space for what truly matters. Each item put in its place, Each task completed, or each worry acknowledged and addressed, is a reminder that you govern yourself. When your space aligns, your mind flows, and when your mind flows, your soul finds rest. Finally, the eighth thing you must quietly eliminate from your life is the habit of constantly complaining. It's easy to fall into the trap of grumbling about traffic, the weather, your job, or minor inconveniences. While occasional venting can be cathartic, chronic complaining is a deeply ingrained habit that can severely undermine your happiness and well-being. Complaining focuses your attention on what's wrong, what's missing, or what you dislike, rather than on what's going well or what you can do to improve a situation. It shifts your mindset from one of empowerment to one of victimhood, making you feel powerless in the face of circumstances. Moreover, constant complaining can be a major drain on the people around you, pushing them away and fostering a negative atmosphere. Nobody wants to be around someone who always sees the downside of everything. The more you complain, the more you train your brain to seek out things to complain about, creating a self-reinforcing cycle of negativity. To quietly eliminate complaining, you need to become aware of when you're doing it and consciously choose a different response. Start by catching yourself in the act. Before a complaint leaves your lips, pause and ask yourself, is this truly a problem that needs to be voiced, or am I just indulging in negativity? Then try to reframe the thought. Instead of complaining, can you find a solution? Can you identify something positive in the situation? Can you simply accept what is and move on? For example, instead of complaining about traffic, acknowledge it and use the time to listen to a podcast or practice mindfulness. If you find yourself wanting to complain to someone, try expressing gratitude instead. Shift your focus to what you're thankful for in that moment. This isn't about ignoring genuine problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing where you direct your energy. By consciously reducing your complaints, you empower yourself, cultivate a more positive outlook, and become a more uplifting presence for yourself and those around you. It's a quiet shift that yields profound benefits for your overall peace and joy.